Have you ever paused to consider where your experiences come from? Why certain patterns repeat? Why some dreams materialize while others seem to drift away? The answers aren't found in the world around you. They're found within. You may not have realized it until now, but the direction of your life has always been shaped by something deeper than circumstance. Not by chance, not by luck, and not by the decisions of others. It has been shaped by the assumptions you carry, by the inner conversations you repeat, by the states you dwell in day after day. This isn't something to fear. It's something to explore. Because once you understand this, you begin to see your world differently. You stop looking outward for power, and instead you begin to remember the source within you. You are not here to chase or to plead. You are here to awaken, to realize that your imagination is not idle. It is creative. It is the force behind everything you experience. What you accept as true, what you dwell upon in thought and feeling, moves quietly into form. Not because life is punishing or rewarding, but because consciousness is always outpicturing itself. Your inner state determines your outer world. This realization isn't about control. It's about alignment. It's about tuning in to the knowing that you are the operant power, not passively reacting, but intentionally imagining. And when you begin to live from this awareness, life responds. Everything begins in imagination. Your entire reality, what you see, what you touch, what you live, was first imagined, consciously or not. You are not observing a world separate from you. You are watching your beliefs take shape. If you want to know what you've been imagining, look around. Your environment is the echo of inner assumptions long accepted as true. But here's what changes everything. You can revise. You can assume again and better. Imagination is not pretend. It's not escape. It is creation. It is the only true reality, the first cause. And once you dwell in a new assumption, once you feel it as done, everything begins to rearrange to match it. You've been taught to respond to facts, to be reasonable, but facts are only the outpicturing of old states. To live as the operant power, you must dare to persist in imagination, even when nothing has changed yet. Faith is not hoping. Faith is assuming that what you imagine is real now, not one day, not someday, but now. You don't wait for the world to confirm it. You become it in feeling, and the world follows. You are not here to fix the outer world. You are here to master the inner one. You are not at the mercy of appearances. You are the cause, not the effect. The moment you claim this, your transformation begins. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are simply living in a state. A state is a mood, a belief, a feeling of being. And every state has its own outcomes, its own world, its own story. You shift states every day, from confidence to doubt, from lack to security, from love to fear. But the one you return to most, the one you accept as home, becomes your life. Do not try to change the world while remaining in the same state. The outer can only reflect the inner. If you desire a new experience, You must occupy the state where that experience is natural. You don't force anything to happen. You don't chase results. You assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and remain loyal to it. You persist in that assumption regardless of appearances. You might say, I don't feel worthy. That too is a state. And like all states, it can be left behind. Worthiness is not something to earn. It is a state to enter. The moment you say, this is who I am now, and you feel it deeply, the world responds. Not later. Now. The shift is internal first, but it never stays hidden for long. The key to unlocking the invisible world is not action. It is not effort. It is feeling. You are always feeling something, and that feeling, whatever it may be, is setting the tone of your world. Feeling is not a weak thing. It is not passive. It is not emotionalism or sentimentality. It is spiritual knowing. It is the silent language through which the inner man speaks to the outer world. Whatever you feel as true, not what you want to be true, but what you accept as true, will harden into fact. If you feel unwanted, life will echo that. If you feel chosen, you will begin to experience evidence of that choice. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about choosing a higher state and entering into the feeling of it, regardless of your current reflection. You are not waiting to see change. You are becoming change. There is a vast difference between hoping and assuming. Hope is a beggar. It waits at the gate, longing for scraps of evidence. Assumption steps through the gate as if it were already invited. When you feel yourself into a new reality, you shift timelines. You leave the old behind, not by fighting it, but by ceasing to emotionally feed it. You walk as though it is already done. This is not pretending. Pretending is hollow. Feeling is alive. You're not trying to manipulate the world. You are learning to master yourself. It is within your inner sanctuary, that silent place no one sees, where your world is first created. You return there not to escape life, but to command it. So if you ask, how do I change this? Ask instead, what am I feeling to be true? And am I willing to feel something greater right now without needing proof? Because that is all creation ever asks of you. Feel it, become it, live from it. To live by sight is to be ruled by appearances. And appearances, no matter how real they seem, are nothing but reflections of past assumptions. The world that you see was made by what you once accepted as true. Do not try to change the outer world. Instead, change the inner state from which the outer world flows. This inner state is not imaginary in the way most people use the word. It is creative imagining. It is spiritual vision. It is the divine act of selecting a higher truth and remaining loyal to it. Faith is not blind. Faith sees beyond. It knows that what is not yet visible to the senses is no less real. It exists now in you and will express itself through you. You do not need to beg or strive or suffer to make it happen. You need only assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and abide there. When you persist in the assumption that you already are what you desire to be, You activate a law far greater than chance or effort. You awaken the God in you. This law does not respond to duty or time or need. It responds only to belief, and belief is nothing more than sustained feeling. You are always believing something. Even doubt is belief in the opposite. So stop asking for signs and start choosing the assumption you want to see unfold. You may not know how it will come, and you do not need to. Your job is to live in the end, to enter the feeling of the wish fulfilled and remain there in faith. Because the law is always working. The question is not whether it is working, but what are you commanding it to create? Every assumption once persisted in hardens into fact. You are not hoping it becomes true. You are assuming that it already is, and then persisting as if it were impossible to fail. Most begin well, but they waver. They check the outer world too soon and say, "See, it did not work." But the truth is, they step out of the state before the seed can take root. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. But the feeling must be maintained, not visited, not tested, but lived in. You must become so faithful to your inner reality that you no longer look for confirmation. You move as one who already knows, and that knowing becomes your world. Think of a sculptor. He does not strike once and walk away. He shapes, returns, and continues until what he sees within is fully revealed without. So too with your assumption. It must be impressed upon the mind repeatedly, gently, lovingly, faithfully. If you falter, return. If you forget, remember. If doubt creeps in, do not fight it. Simply turn your attention back to the state you choose. The law does not count how often you have failed. It responds each time you assume. Each time you enter the state of the wish fulfilled, you move closer to its manifestation. You cannot fail unless you stop assuming. And you cannot stop assuming unless you forget who you are. You are the operant power. You must learn to be the silent witness of your thoughts and feelings, not to judge them, not to resist them, but to observe without attachment. This allows you to separate your true self from the ever-changing scenes of your mind. Many believe they are their thoughts or emotions, but you are the one who observes them, the consciousness behind the scenes. This inner witness holds the power to choose which thoughts to nourish and which to release. When doubt or fear arises, do not fight or fear these feelings. Simply acknowledge their presence and gently return your attention to your chosen assumption. This is not denial, but a conscious choice to live in the state that aligns with your desire. The operant power is found in your ability to persist in this witnessing. By standing apart, you refuse to be swept away by every passing thought or feeling. You become the master of your inner world, and through that mastery, shape your outer experience. Imagine a calm lake reflecting the sky. When winds arise, the surface ripples, but the depth remains still and unaffected. Be like that still depth, the eternal observer that holds steady beneath shifting appearances. This is how you retain faith and focus without attachment to current events. This silent watching is the secret that prevents you from being distracted or discouraged. It allows the inner work to mature and the outer result to manifest in its perfect time. Your creative power is not in forcing or striving. It is in your calm, steady presence that assumes and persists in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The operant power moves through you when you embrace this witnessing state. Know that your reality bends and shifts in response to your inner attention. Hold your attention lightly but firmly on your assumption. This is the true art of creation, the operant power working silently within. Now, understand that you carry within you the operant power, the unseen force shaping every moment of your life. It is neither distant nor separate from you. It is your very consciousness, your feeling, your assumption made real. This power does not judge, blame, or criticize. It simply creates from the state you choose to occupy. Therefore, your task is to carefully choose the thoughts and feelings you nurture. Live as though your desire is already fulfilled, as though you are already that blessed being. In that living, you are aligning yourself with the creative force that brings your assumptions to life. This is the art of manifestation, a quiet, persistent knowing that your inner state governs your outer world. You are not a helpless victim of circumstance, nor are you a prisoner of past experiences. You are the operant power, the creator of your present and future. Do not be discouraged by the appearances of delay or opposition. Such things are mere reflections of old beliefs waiting to be dissolved. Keep your focus on the feeling of your fulfilled desire, unwavering and calm. The power you seek is already within you. It works continuously even when you are unaware of it. Your faith and persistence unlock this power and set it into motion. Embrace your creative role with joy and confidence. Know that every assumption you hold, every feeling you cherish, is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Tend these seeds with love and care, and watch as your world blossoms accordingly. Understand, too, that this power responds not only to what you desire, but to the feeling you embody in the present moment. Your feelings are the language of your subconscious, the silent command that moves the unseen forces. Therefore, cultivate feelings of peace, joy, and fulfillment as if your desires are already complete. It is through this living assumption, this faithful persistence, that the invisible becomes visible. The world you see is but a mirror of your inner state. Change what is within, and the outer world will respond accordingly. You do not need to control the how or when of manifestation. Those details are arranged by the power within you, working perfectly in your favor. Your role is to remain steady in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, without doubt or impatience. Know also that setbacks and seeming contradictions are only temporary shadows. They are part of the process, signs that old patterns are making way for new realities. Hold firm to your inner vision, for it is stronger than any outward circumstance. This power you possess is your birthright, the essence of your being. It is the divine creative energy that flows through all life. To awaken fully to this truth is to live with freedom, abundance, and joy. Step now into this knowing and claim your place as the operant power in your life. Live each day as the creator of your experience, the master of your fate. Your world will reflect the strength and beauty of your inner assumption. Remember, the creative force within you is always working, always supporting you. Trust in this power, honor it, and watch how effortlessly your dreams unfold.